What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirski. Hello, somebody. I love that part for some reason. All right, so you guys, it says Christian Combs mocks victims after Diddy walks free. Says they will, well, it should have been said, they will countersue. They got says. Whoever wrote this, they don't know English, bro. It should have been said. Said they will countersue. All right. So this is the thing, you guys. So far, from what I've seen, after Diddy was allegedly set free, not all the way free, but whenever he got most of his racketeering charges dropped, I guess all the federal charges, the big charges, everybody was so happy that they was outside in the front of the court steps, you guys. Regular citizens was outside supporting Diddy outside the court steps, putting baby all on, dancing, doing the Harlem Shake and everything else, you guys. So I guess it was kind of like a rubbing it in the face, I guess. The judgment had took it like that. The son of Diddy, Christian Combs, he was outside doing push-ups, dancing with his girlfriend. She out there twerking. It been totally ghetto, really ghetto ratchet. I'm pretty sure they was happy that his dad got from the charges dropped. But there's a time and a place for everything. Now it seemed like they were rubbing it in the victim's face, which is unfair to the victims. That's probably why that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't let Diddy get a bond, a bill, or whatever. Bail, bond, same tomato. So we're going to check it out. Let's get it.
Christian Combs just made things 10 times worse. So y'all know Diddy's been in and out of headlines with the federal trial, but somehow he still managed to get off on the major charges. But instead of laying low like most people would after all that drama, Christian Combs is out here throwing shade, cracking jokes, and pretty much sending a message to the victims, and it's not the message people expected. Word on the street is that not only is he mocking the whole situation, but there's even talk of countersuing the individuals who came forward. Yup, the tables might be turning, at least in their camp. Let's break down exactly what's going on, what Christian said, and how folks are reacting because this situation is spiraling fast. Okay, so as bad as it sounds, it's not exactly shocking that Christian Combs would be the one supposedly doing all this and clowning Diddy's victims when he beat the RICO charges. He didn't even leave the courthouse before he started gloating about how his father beat the RICO charges.
Once court was adjourned, family members cheered today's verdict. Combs' son, Christian, telling ABC News how happy he is.
Hey, yo, we love y'all. We love everybody watching. So happy. Pop's coming home. God bless. God bless the whole world.
What was going through your head when the verdict was...
Oh, man, wait a minute. That music. Because he playing his own song in the background off his new album. It's called Diddy Free. I ain't want to get copyrighted, so we're going to all right, there we go.
How happy he was seen doing push-ups right outside the courts. Gonna fault Christian for being happy that his father is coming home. At the end of the day, that still is dad, and he has made it clear that he's going to support his father no matter what. And considering the allegations that Diddy has brainwashed his kids for years into supporting him no matter what, it's not exactly shocking that Christian and the other kids would be overjoyed that Diddy beat the charges. Well, Diddy didn't exactly beat the charges. While he did beat the bigger charges, he was found guilty on the 2 smaller charges. He was cleared of and the 2 charges. The RICO charges carried a maximum life sentence, while the 2 counts of carried a minimum of 15 years and a maximum life sentence each. He was found guilty of violating the Mann Act, which prohibits transporting individuals across state lines for unlawful activity. The charges stem from incidents involving Cassie Ventura and Jane Doe, who testified during the trial. Those
well, wouldn't it be like if Diddy got... Hold on, bro. Because if Diddy did get found guilty for the Mann Act, whenever Cassie and Daphne, they were the one that orchestrated it, though, really. They the one that paid the sex workers. They the one that called the sex workers. They the one that picked the sex workers out, from my understanding. So they should get some type of punishment as well, because Diddy was just in the corner pleasing himself, from what I gathered. They did all the job. They searched for who they want to be with.
Just carry a maximum sentence of 10 years each, but it's unlikely that Diddy will get the maximum sentence. There are even reports that he might get off on probation and time served, and considering the way the trial has gone so far, it wouldn't be surprising if Diddy gets off completely. So yeah, Christian celebrating is not surprising, but what really has fans pissed is that his celebration seems to be tone deaf regarding the victims. But if you think that's bad, it gets worse, because there's a rumor going around the streets that Christian is claiming that they are planning to countersue the victims who came forward for libel and defamation. Say what now? Isn't there some law of sorts that protects victims against this sort of thing? Because if Christian is allowed to go after the victims, it's going to set a very dangerous precedent for future victims, especially against big names like Diddy. But when you really think about it, Christian coming for Diddy's victims shouldn't be too surprising, because the streets have been saying that he is the one most likely to be like Diddy out of all the Combs kids. And let's not forget that he has been bragging from day one that Diddy is going to beat the charges. Y'all remember when Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes last year? That wasn't just for show, because they came in heavy and seized electronics, hard drives, all that. And let's not forget, Christian and Justin got detained during that whole thing. Now, most people, after going through something like that, especially with the feds watching your family that closely, would probably lay low, stay quiet, maybe distance themselves from the mess. But nope, not Christian. You'd think with the feds already breathing down their necks and with Homeland Security raiding multiple properties, he'd understand this is deeper than rumors. But for some reason, Christian thought that it was the best time to release a song about how the feds missed a lot of evidence. And he even revealed where Diddy had hidden the evidence. He said, "Knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys running both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one they miss. How y'all talking like a ninja, time up, throwing shade, get your shines up, asking where my pops at, he on the G6, getting the lineup." But that's not all, because he also tried to diss 50 Cent for trolling Diddy, saying, "I dare one of you ninjas scream out no Diddy," when all they had was 50 Cent, who put the city on the map. Stop lying. Pop's been hated on by many men, and man, that's fine. They gonna try to stop these M&Ms, and they gonna die trying. Now, that explains why he celebrated Diddy getting scot-free, but that does not explain why he would go after the victims. So why would he do something like that? Well, that probably has something to do with the fact that one of Diddy's victims, named MOCKS, also sued Christian, accusing him of allegedly SAing her. According to reports at the time, MOCKS alleged she was 25 when she was working on a super yacht called Victorious in December 2022 when Combs leased it. She claimed the disgraced music mogul had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht over the holiday period. The court document said the makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defendant Sean Combs and his family to include a constant rotation of suspected adult workers and other A-list celebrities such as French Montana and actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Staff was often treated with disrespect. Suspected adult workers were sprawled out unconscious about the yacht, and it was difficult to distinguish which bottles of alcohol were laced with and which bottles were not, the suit went on. According to her, this wasn't a one-time thing. She claimed that he made several attempts to touch her and force himself on her, but she was always able to escape. That is, until one encounter where things nearly went too far and he almost succeeded. According to reports, Christian then allegedly demanded she find him a place to sleep on the yacht, and she suggested the cinema room as there were no spare cabins available. The suit claimed the cinema has one door to exit and enter. Plaintiff entered the room, and defendant Christian Combs blocked her from exiting. Plaintiff retreated to a corner of the room, and defendant Christian Combs became physical and extremely aggressive. He cornered plaintiff and started purse. It continued. Plaintiff pushed him back constantly. Defendant Christian Combs then took off all of his clothes. His privates was erect, and he grabbed her arms and was trying to force plaintiff to perform oral copulation on him. The plaintiff began fighting defendant C. Combs, and not long after, her partner on board entered the cinema. The suit claims this startled her alleged attacker, and she was finally able to flee. When she tried to complain, she got fired. She went.
Bro, that ain't Diddy Jr., bro. If that ain't, he gonna corner the girl off. Bro, this is the part I don't understand. How you drop all your clothes, and I guess S.A. this female, and she fighting you back, and you manage to stay erected, bro. Bro, how you stay erected and you getting beat up, bro? That is just crazy. That's crazy.
On to claim that she allegedly lost her partner, who struggled to deal with the situation, having seen the bruises on her body and dealt with the mental and emotional ramifications. MOCKS suffered anxiety and panic attacks, developed an eating disorder, and even thought about ending her own life, the suit claimed. When the lawsuit was first filed, Diddy's legal team released a statement on Christian's behalf that said, "We have not seen this woman's claim, but I'm sure we can expect the same kind of manufactured lies we've come to expect from Tyrone Blackburn and his clients, just as we saw in Rodney Jones' Williams' lawsuit, which has yet to be served. He adds, they learned about the lawsuit the same way anyone hears about Mr. Blackburn's filings, through the media. So yeah, Christian had more writing on Diddy's trial than we knew of, and this explains why he allegedly threatened to go after the victims. While Diddy's criminal lawsuit might be over, he still has all those civil lawsuits pending against him, and he has to answer to them. But now that he has been found not guilty of the bigger charges, there is a lot of speculation on the streets that the verdict might influence the outcome of the civil lawsuits. Because the jury in the criminal lawsuit didn't find Diddy guilty of any wrongdoing regarding the case, Diddy's lawyers can easily argue the same in a civil court. And to make matters worse for the victims, Christian is now supposedly claiming that they are going to countersue. Chile, it's like they just can't catch a break. And that's where things are right now. Christian's out here cracking jokes, making threats, and standing 10 toes down behind his dad, even with all the backlash coming their way. But the big question is, will this attitude backfire? Because with more lawsuits, more investigations, and the public already turning on them, this is far from over. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, it is far from over. Like the sentencing. I heard the sentencing, what they said, I think the sentencing went from October to something, October the 2nd to September the 22nd, I think they said. So they did push it up just a couple of weeks, maybe about 2 weeks or maybe something like that. But he might get time served though, and probation, because at one point in time they said Diddy he's been in trouble before, but he beat the situation. So he has a clean record. And when you go in front of that judge, having a clean record, you guys, is tremendously a tremendously good thing. He's not a troublemaker. He is a troublemaker, but he don't have a record. It's not on file. So he made this very, very well come off with probation or house arrest or something like that, and time served though. So we will see here September. Hey, he went to court. He didn't take the plea. He fought his case. So if they let that man out, they let him out, bro. It's not on us anymore. We still could think he should be locked up, but he shouldn't be. Whatever we think, they went through the court system, and it is what it is. Period.